Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chicken Possible with Rewards Hunter, back with another Xbox Game Pass monthly quest guide. Today we're going to be working on the quest for the game Descenders. This is going to be worth 75 Microsoft Rewards points. It's good through July 5th, and we need to earn 10,000 reputation within the game Descenders. So let's go ahead and get this game started up. It does appear to be available on xCloud, so if you'd like to play it that way, that should be available for you to do. I'm going to be showing, of course, some Xbox gameplay as always here. And I'm going to cut out some of the load times and just kind of cut to the heart of the information that you need here. So when we first start out, you'll see your reputation at the lower section of the screen. You can see mine's already 5,761, and we're going to start in a new career session. And you can start out in the Highlands if you have that available. I believe the desert is a better section to do this in, but a lot of people only have that if they're more used to playing this game and have a lot more experience already in it. So I'm going to assume that you're fairly new to the game or brand new to the game. So your reputation at the lower left corner of the screen will probably have a 0 next to it. If you're brand new, you might have a little bit if you've played as much as I have. So you can see my starting total is 5,761. So what we need to do is get that number up to 10,000. For me, it needs to be 15,761. So just add 10,000 to whatever your existing reputation total is, and that's what you need for this quest. So, when we first start out in the Highlands here, you'll press A to get started riding, you'll hold down the right trigger to start pedaling your bike, and you can sort of control the movement of your bike with your left stick. So if you hold back on your left stick, your player will try to do a backflip, even if he's just kind of rolling down the hillside, or if he's in the air, he'll try to rotate the bike backward. And similarly, if you press forward on the left stick, then you'll try to do a front flip. You'll start to build up more and more speed as you stay on the dirt track and continue pedaling forward, and as long as you don't run into any obstacles or any sort of impacts that slow you down. Now you have 4 retries on every session that you start up, so you can see that I've crashed twice already. So at the upper left corner of the screen you can see I have 2 restarts remaining still. And after that, it will start up a new session for me, and I'll sort of wreck out if I run out of restarts. These checkered flags that I'm passing by are checkpoints on each race. So if you go through those, you don't absolutely have to go through those. This is not a slalom. But if you do go through them, then you will restart at that checkpoint if you do crash. And then when you go underneath the blue banner, that will finish that track for you. And you can see how many reputation points you earned right there. I earned 353 in that race. This will probably take you about 30 minutes total to rack up the 10,000 reputation points that you need from all these different races. It seems like you tend to get about 300 to 600 or so per race. You might be able to get more if you do a lot of tricks. And for everything that you do in the race that has a bit of either danger to it or an objective to it, those are the things that you will earn your reputation points for. So for things like sliding, for doing different little trick jumps, and the objectives appear at the upper right corner of the screen. So you can see on this level, it is to finish without letting go of the acceleration, which would be your right trigger. So if you're able to hold down the right trigger throughout the entire race, then you would get some extra points or maybe an extra health point for that, for doing that. So now if you do wreck out, this is what it looks like. It just says wrecked, and you will be able to do a quick restart if you want to by pressing X, and then you'll start up a new session in the Highlands. So you'll kind of be starting from scratch in the Highlands. So if you had progressed through some tracks, you'll be back to the very first track again when you start a new session. So like I said, you don't actually have to go through all of the checkpoints, they just help out. And my favorite move to do was definitely the backflip. I think that's the easiest. On this track, if you look at the upper right, the objective is to get 4 seconds of airtime, and you can see that I have 3 seconds of airtime, and I was about to cross the finish line, but I decided to see if I could go grab that 4th second of airtime. So I just kind of pedaled back up the hill, up to a higher area, and then started coming back down to that last jump to see if I could grab 1 extra second of airtime to complete that objective and get a few more points. So that's another trick you can use on these levels that have 4 seconds of airtime as the extra objective. So it just gets you a few bonus points. Now when you get new crew members, go for something that helps with your landings or helps with your steering, anything like that. Here's another one where I chose speed wobbles to maintain control of my bike. As far as the tracks to pick, I would recommend the ones that sound more straightforward. So if you have one that's just called straight or something that's called mellow, those are a lot easier to deal with. They don't have as many curves in them. Now you may see as you progress a sponsor track on the map with those 3 different colors on it. So you can choose what sort of sponsor, what sort of track you want to do. And if you complete that track, then you'll get an achievement for that. So you'll see I get the achievement for representing your style right here. So if you're looking to complete a second quest at the same time for completing an achievement in a Game Pass game, that would be a way to do it in this game, just to complete one of those nodes. Whenever you get your 10,000, you'll get the achievement for getting 10,000 rep within the game. So you can see I unlocked that part of the way through my playthrough here because I already had 5,000 when I was starting. Just a couple more gameplay tips. Make sure that you're going fast if you're going to do any sort of flips. You don't want to do it when you're going slowly. So if you can see that you have a lot of speed, then you should have more time to correct if you're doing something like a backflip. Again, staying on the dirt will help increase your speed. If you go out into the grass, that'll slow you down. So you can see I've got a good amount of speed there. I still didn't do a trick, but I could have done a trick there. If you do notice yourself slowing down a lot, don't do any tricks. Just kind of go safely over the jump, I would recommend. And if you're way off base, if you see that you're coming up to a jump really quickly and you know you're going to miss it, then you can actually dodge around to the side of these jumps. You don't absolutely have to go over them. So you'll see that in just a minute here. I pick up a lot of speed, but then I'm not lined up well for the jump, so I just decide to go off to the side rather than crashing myself. So you can see I got the 4 seconds of airtime there again, so that's going to be some bonus points at the end of this track, so that's good. And I don't really have a ton of speed here, so I'm just kind of going over these wooden jumps and not actually trying to do a backflip or anything. I still don't have a ton of speed, so doing a backflip is a bad idea right there. We're going to go through the checkpoint. Checkpoints are always good, as I mentioned earlier. So I've got a good amount of speed here, so I'm going to do a backflip to get some extra points. But here I'm way off base, so I'm not going to be able to do anything, so I'm just going to go around the side and finish out the track. So just some gameplay recommendations there on how to play through it and maximize your points. So you can see I got about 600 there during that track. And again, just looking for something from the crew member that will help me stabilize myself and perform a little bit better. So here's in-air correction. I chose that one. So at this point, my total is over 15,761. So I was thinking at this moment that I should actually have the quest unlocked because I've completed 10,000 rep according to the game at this point. But I went ahead and hopped out to the Game Pass app to check on my total. And it doesn't seem to track perfectly on this game. You can see they're only crediting me for 7,946. So if you do run into this, basically just get back to the game, do a few more races. That's what I had to do. Obviously, it didn't track the 10,000 perfectly, but after I did a few more races, I was able to go ahead and get awarded the 10,000 rep by Game Pass, and the quest unlocked after that. So there we go, we got the quest unlocked. So we'll go over to the Game Pass app and turn that in for those 75 reward points. And that's going to do it for Descenders. We'll have quest guides coming out for all of the other June quests, including FIFA, the Elder Scrolls Online, Human Fall Flat, and all of the other weekly and monthly quests that are available here in Game Pass this month. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found that video helpful, please be sure to click the subscribe button here on YouTube and hit that bell for notifications. You can also find some helpful links in the description of this video if you want to stay connected with us. Stay tuned for more Microsoft rewards and achievement guides, and I'll see you in the next one.